Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am a little behind in August, and I'm just now getting to my July wrap up. So let's go ahead and talk about the 5 books that I read in July. I would say overall, it was a pretty good reading month. Like, I'm not mad at it. Zodiac Academy is pretty much what took up all of my reading time. And they're just really long books, so I can't get through as many. It is what it is. The first book that I read in July was Zodiac Academy Cursed Fates, and I gave it 5 stars. I finished it right at the end of August, and I loved it. This is the book where everything starts to go downhill. Like, everything's falling apart, and it just sucks. Anytime things looked up, you best believe something was gonna go wrong. Ugh, there's 2 main things that happen that just break your heart in this book. But it's so good. So good. I am rooting so much for these characters, and as you can see, I will talk more about this series, but I would say these next 3 books, because I'm currently reading Starlight and Sorrow and Starlight, and it's just heartbreak after heartbreak, truly. But you're so invested at this point, you can't give it up. But I really loved this book. Next, I listened to Gold by Raven Kennedy. And I had a hard time getting through this book. I gave it 4 stars. I thought that just not a lot happened in Gold. I feel like you had such climactic points in some of the previous books that this one just kind of fell flat on that. You started learning more about other characters and other things, and that wasn't what I was there for. A reread, I might be more invested just knowing where the storyline is going with those characters, but as a first read, it put me in a major reading slump. I feel like I did not read this book or listen to this book for a very long time. It took me forever to get through this book just because I feel like everything massively slowed down. So it was not my favorite. Then I read Zodiac Academy Fated Throne. And this book, guys, I feel like this is the one that I was recording when I was figuring out how many pages I could read in a week. And this book, I did not see the end coming. It's just so good. I think it's because the characters, you fall so in love with the characters, so in love with the world, that it does not matter the plot line, it does not matter plot holes, it does not matter any of that stuff. The vibes are there, and you just love the book so much. And that's how I feel about these books. I gave it 5 stars. Love these books. Again, the one thing that I will say that I'm not a fan of is the spice. There's a lot of spice in these books, and it's just unnecessary to me. But I always avoid it and skip it. So still, great books. Then I finished Zodiac Academy Heartless Sky. And guys, for the Zodiac Academy people out there, why this book? I feel like there wasn't a whole lot that happened just because so much of it was just, I feel like, trying to plan for what's to come in the series. So I will say this book did slow down for me. It took me a little bit to get through this book. Also, very long book, so that was also a part of what took me a long time. But the ending, everything, I cannot with these books and the heart-wrenching things that happen in them, because it's just so much. I feel for these characters. They better get a happy ending. That's all I have to say, is they better get a happy ending. I did give it 5 stars, but I think this series is just so long. It is such an investment. That is the one thing I will say about this series, is you are going to be reading it for a long time. I've been reading this for 2 months now, and I'm still not done. And I think that my happy place is a trilogy that keeps me invested long enough. I get to spend a lot of time with the characters, and then I'm good. So this one has been hard for me. I felt this way about any book series that's been a lot. Like even Throne of Glass, like I have a hard time. By the time it gets to the end, I'm excited and I'm ready to read another book, but I'm still finishing the series. I felt that way about Red Rising. Like they're all amazing books, but I just am ready for something new after 2 months of reading the same characters. So that is that's another thing that I'm not a huge fan of with these books. But again, I do love them and I give them 5 stars pretty much every time. Then I finished finally the Plated Prisoner series and I read Goldfinch, which I gave 3.5 stars. I really feel like this series went like this and peaked and then went right back down. This was a 6-book series, so by the time I'm just ready to be done. I was happy for the most part with the ending. Like it ended fine, a happy ending, but it just felt to me like some of the plot lines just didn't make sense. I'm going to tell a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear this, fast forward. Auren lost her memories because these worms were keeping them behind, or like keeping them from her, and they were in her brain, whatever. And then I'm thinking, oh, like there's going to be this struggle with this for a little while because Slade was on his way to come get her, and I thought like there would be a period of him trying to get her to remember who he was. It was like 5 seconds and she's like, oh, because their bond broke, whatever that was. And I was just like, huh? And then I was really upset also about Melina dying. Like it's like what was the point of her character? I mean, I guess her character's point was to die so that the bridge could be broken, but I don't know. I just was not a fan. I think the series really went downhill in the end. It was really good for the first 3 books. And I almost feel like it could have stayed a trilogy. Like, she could have kept it a trilogy and not gone into the whole other world side of things. But I also do get why she did. It's fine. It was not my favorite book, but I would recommend the series because it is good, at least for the first 3 books. And you might feel differently about the last 3. I just really struggled through them. And that was all the books that I read in July. I thought it was a pretty good reading month. I'm hoping that since I'm done with the Plated Prisoner series, I can get through some more audiobooks and kind of branch out from the fantasy worlds because I feel like I need a little palate cleanser, especially after the Zodiac Academy series. But I don't plan on finishing that in August because, it's just taking me a very long time to get through. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoy book videos, book reviews, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.